Welcome to the Crystal Mermaid. My name is Jessica. I am an intuitive light worker helping to raise the galactic consciousness one stone at a time. In this video, in lieu of a daily stone, I am going to start utilizing Sacred Sundays as a day to share grid sets with you and stone sets, and to just give you a little bit more insight about utilizing your crystals, rocks, and gemstones. So to start with, I always drink a glass of water before I sit down and create a specifically intentional grid set. I also wash my hands, both of them being symbols of purification. At the same time, I am creating an intention around why I'm setting a grid and what it is that I'm looking to utilize in terms of the energy of the stones that I'm putting onto this grid. So as I walk through the house or walk around, I have been collecting stones that have been calling to me for the specific purpose that I'm setting this grid today. And if you don't have a grid of your own or an altar space that you prefer to utilize, it's super easy to draw one. So take a piece of paper, any blank piece of paper, can be any color. We are manifesting achievement today, success, and prosperity. So choose a color that resonates with you or a specific color that maybe you're looking to work on. So I chose pink as a representation of pure feminine energy. That's what I am calling into manifestation of my achievement grid, my success grid. We're looking to get results, essentially. So you don't even need to actually have a physical grid, whether it's a cloth form or a paper form. I often set grids and stones when I'm walking, I'm hiking, or we're out in the desert prospecting or mining. I find myself doing little stone sets and grids. And that's intuition that I'm using to guide me. And there really is no one right way to set a grid. So use your intuition to set your intentions and also to set your space. So a very simple grid that I like to use is the hexagonal shape, which is two triangles superimposed on one another. Don't worry about perfection. Just do your best, whatever that is. So I'm actually going to use a double grid today. So it's a combination of this grid that I just drew, this hexagonal or star shape, along with my cloth grid that I have here. A friend from my Burning Man camp, the Green Goddess, his name is Brendan, gave this to me, and it is Lotus Eternal. That's who creates all these beautiful designs. So I'm gonna set my grid that I just made in the center here. Something else I like to use when I'm making grids is a compass. So I like to call on the powers of the four directions, our ancient ancestors, our guides, and our angels. If you are outside, often you can use the sun or other natural symbols and signals outside to tell you which direction is which. If not, carry a compass. I carry a compass with me to let me know which direction is which. If you don't have those available, again, intuition. Use your intuition to let you know where to set your stones if you're feeling called to do that. So get grounded, take some nice deep breaths. Three nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, connecting my physical being with my ethereal, my spiritual being, bringing them into one to create new. So, first thing I want to share about the stones and the 4 directions. I've chosen 4 stones, 1 for each direction. I have a quartz crystal, and that's for the north. And in the north, we have wisdom and knowledge. So as I place this stone in the north, I'm calling in the powers of wisdom and knowledge. I'm calling in the Akashic records and our ancestors to help share with us the information that will help us be prosperous, successful, and to get the results that we desire from our heart. In the east, the area of enlightenment and illumination, I've chosen carnelian. Carnelian is an orange, yellow stone, bringing in fire, bringing in passion, helping us draw upon all that is available within the realms of illumination and enlightenment as we raise up towards prosperity and success. Place that in the east. In the south, I've chosen red jasper. The south represents trust and innocence. Trust and innocence from a place of freshness, but also from a place of vulnerability. When we put ourselves out there, when we ask, we are opening ourselves up to receive. This allows us to be in a pure space of receiving with trust in the divine and purity through innocence. Green can also be a color representative of the south in addition to red. Finally, in the west, we have a smoky quartz. This is your intuition and your introspection in the west. The smoky quartz energy is clarifying while reminding us of the duality of what we show and what we keep hidden, what we keep revealed. Our intuition, we want clear. We want to lift the veil and remove the smoke so that we can have clear channels. And we can be introspective and see what it is that we need to do in order to get the results we're looking for. So I've laid 4 stones in 4 directions: the north, the south, the east, and the west. That's our base for the grid. That's my base for almost all the grids that I create. I like to have that energy of the 4 directions available at all times, no matter what it is, because there is so much wisdom, guidance, intuition, and enlightenment available for us. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to tap into our inner channels that give us those tools. And these are all tools that are assisting me in tapping into my own channels. The 4 directions specifically can be utilized in so many different ways to tap into your own channels and to offer protection and all-encompassing with my compass in the center. I like that little play on words there. All right, so as I mentioned before, I sat down to create this grid, I created an intention and I walked around and picked up some stones to put in the grid to utilize that energy of getting results, prosperity, success, and achievement. So the first stone that I picked, and these will all be available on my Etsy, I'm actually going to be putting together, after I make this grid, I'm charging these crystals. I'm going to be putting together a kit that will be available if you want to manifest success, prosperity, and achievement into your own life, because all these stones that I'm utilizing are wonderful tools to bring that energy and attract that energy to yourself. So the first one that I have here is hematite. Ooh. Intuitively, I allow the stones to guide me to where they want to be. I've chosen 6 hematite stones for this grid. And they've told me, as they fell out, that this is where they want to sit on the grid. So I'm honoring the 3 stones that fell out of my container, and I just flipped them over and set them where they lay. So hematite is magnetic. It helps to attract prosperity, positivity into your life, while at the same time repelling negativity and also protecting us from feeling like we are being used or exploited. We have gifts to share, but on our terms, and our terms being ourself and the divine which created us, because we're here to execute the plans. We're here to bring the divine into action. So I have 6 hematites that I've placed on this grid, activating them, utilizing their energy, drawing in that powerful, attractive, magnetic force to help energize and charge this set. The second crystals that I've chosen are amethyst, some clusters. These are from California, Southern California area. And they were dug by myself and my partner. I've chosen 3 amethyst clusters. And the amethyst is really promoting our gifts and our talents. Amethyst is associated with the crown chakra. This is where we receive and we create a clear channel. This is the last physical body, energetic body, before we get into the next set of subtle chakras that are above us. So that's really our connection right there to the divine, the crown chakra. That's the representation. So having that channel open and clear. And in order to have it open and clear, I'm tapping into the energy of the amethyst crystal and really promoting my pure talents, my pure gifts. And in a way that's protected, in a way that is not being exploited. And I'm allowing, again, just intuition to guide me. Sometimes I set crystals and they don't feel right, so I pick them up and set them again. Like I said, there is no one right way to create a grid. And as long as your intentions are pure and clear, that's the core foundation of all of this energetic work. So we have 3 amethyst crystals. I've chosen a piece of blue lace agate. This was mined from our geode spot, not far from where my partner and I live here in Nevada. And the blue lace agate is delicacy. It's feminine energy, and it's also a reminder of our gifts. This is a flat piece, was cut from a geode. And what I'm going to do with this is actually use it as a center base. One important thing I want to note, so hematite, because it's magnetic, will affect your compass. So when I was laying my grid, I called upon the directions first. The hematite was over here to the side. So, and they're not very big crystals. The bigger the hematite, the more it will mess with your compass. But these are small. And I laid my grid first, confident in which way the directions were based on this compass. So I'm placing my agate in the center here. That blue lace, again, calling in those really strong feminine qualities of creativity. So the next stone that I have is one topaz. This is a green topaz, or blue topaz, natural here from Nevada. Topaz is I'm a Sagittarius. Topaz is my personal crystal birthstone, along with turquoise, but topaz is one of my power stones as a Sagittarius. So depending on what sign you are, or if a particular stone resonates with you really strongly, that's why I chose the topaz. The different kits that I'll be creating won't necessarily include a topaz, because this is an individual power stone for myself. So I will create specific sign-based power packs to help with prosperity and success that may include other birthstones. But that's the topaz for me. That's the energy I'm calling in on the topaz as well. And it is known as a stone of prosperity. And again, like I said, as I'm setting the grid, sometimes I'm called to move things around a little bit. The final stone that I'm putting in this grid is sunstone. Sunstone is, well, it's associated with the sign of Leo. Leos being our performers, our actors, our people who like to step out into the spotlight and really just make a lot of noise, but in a good way, not always in a bad way. So the sunstone energy, brilliancy, joy, optimism, it's really what I'm calling upon with this sunstone. To be joyful and optimistic about the success, prosperity, abundance, and the results that I'm looking to create for my own life. So this is really gonna charge that up, amplify, and I have a handful of them here. I have about an ounce of sunstones here. How many exactly, I'm not sure. But again, intuitively, this is what felt good to me. And what I'm gonna do with these is just kind of sprinkle them around and let, gravity and my hands and all that decide where these beautiful sunstones are gonna lay. Now these sunstones are natural from Oregon. My partner mined these. So almost everything that's here, the jasper, the smoky quartz, the fire agate, and the regular quartz, all of those are from Nevada, and they were mined by myself and my partner. The amethyst is from California. I think it's called the Kingston Range. Again, these were mined by us together. And then the carnelian and the Washington, this is Washington carnelian, Washington State. And then these are Oregon sunstones. And like I said, the sunstones were mined by my partner and the carnelian by a friend of ours. And this topaz is actually a very special crystal that was given to me by my partner, and he mined this one himself. That's one of my favorite power pieces for myself. So, as you can see here, I've laid the grid. I have all my stones in place. I'm just kind of energetically making sure everything feels good to me. I like to clear. I had some extra stones here, extra being that they were called to put them in my potential pile. But as I laid the grid, they just weren't, necessary right now. So I'm just going to set these aside. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to use them on the outer edges here. This one I am going to set aside. So I've got my center stone. And then I've got a few more hematites here. And I'm actually feeling called to put this hematite in the middle. It doesn't want to lay in the middle, so we're going to let it sit right there. Just a little bit more magnetism and attraction. So kind of move everything out of the way. Feel really good about the set. Everything energetically feels good. I kind of use my hands just to, because they're the ones that are doing the work in terms of placing things and stuff. So they're from here. So making sure it all feels good, kind of putting my energy into it. So once I have laid my grid and I feel good about the space, I like to say a little prayer, incantation, or something, whatever I feel intuitively guided towards, over the space in order to just really get everything aligned and activated. So in this case, I am working on a grid of promoting manifestation, achievement, success, prosperity, abundance, and my true gifts being revealed to the world in a way that is pure and not being exploited. So that's the exact intentions that I'm setting with this grid. Everything kind of energetically just pulling it all in, pulling this in, and then pulling it towards myself. Following what feels good for me. And then what I'm going to do is say a little prayer that I have over these crystals just to finalize everything and allow this energetic web to really start catching all those wonderful drops and sparkles and lights as they come down to really charge myself. So, thank you both to the crystals, the angels, and all of the energetic presence that's joined us today for setting this grid. Thank you to Mother Earth for providing us with these gifts and tools to utilize to help raise us up higher towards our divine light, as well as keep us grounded, knowing where we came from. The power of the fire, which connects me to the universe. I call upon it. I call upon all that I can manifest and achieve to be successful. I ask this of the purest, highest light. Bring your energy in and share it with me in a way that I can then give back and share for the greater good of myself, all who surround me, and all the energy of the universe. Aho. As above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. Thank you for joining me here on the Crystal Mermaid. This has been your Sacred Sunday grid set, where we are manifesting success, prosperity, and abundance by bringing forth our heart's true gift. Be sure to join me every day for the Daily Stone, every week for the Weekly Warrior. Sundays we'll be doing a sacred grid set, and there's a very special series called Behind the Stones, where we take an inside look at crystal, rock, and gemstone mining and prospecting, as well as jewelry making. Thank you for joining me here on the Crystal Mermaid. Aho.